Right, so the location is the Hoogekral mountain bike trail network, which is part of the Tygerberg mountain bike trail network, just outside of Cape Town in the Western Cape. This is the unofficial endurance training capital of South Africa for mountain biking. You've got 70 to 100 kilometers of fantastic single track through this network of farms in this area to come and train on for endurance racing, for stage racing, for marathons, or just to come and shred with your mates. Great place, come and check it out. My name is Miles Kelsey. I'm going to give you a quick tech overview of this Trek Top Fuel 9.9 XX1 AXS model. I'm also going to tell you a few things about it that I like and give you the races, a couple tips for setting up this machine. Right, so the tech, you're getting 115 millimeter rear travel on this bike. It's Trek's OCLV, top of the line carbon frame, complete all the way through. The link is magnesium, super light magnesium. It's a RockShox Pike Ultimate here with the debonair spring and the Charger 2 damper. The rear shock is also from RockShox. It is the Super Deluxe rear shock, and they both actually operate off of the twist lock, remote lockout here, which is on the bars. The wheels are Bontrager Covey Pro 30 carbons. They're light, and the internal diameter is 30 millimeters, which is a little wider than on some of the other bikes, which gives you great grip everywhere, climbing, single track turns everywhere. Drivetrain wise, you're looking at the SRAM XX1 Eagle AXS 12-speed wireless electronic system. It also has the completely wireless, cableless reverb AXS dropper post, which is a 175mm on this large model. Centerline rotors front and rear. There's a 180 front and a 160 rear. The head angle on this bike is 67.5 or 68. The BB height is 337 or 343, and the C-tube angle is 75 or 75.5. That all depends on where you run your flip chip. Okay, so it gives you the options to suit the trails you're riding. Yes, with Trek's full suspension bikes, you're getting the ABP split pivot rear suspension system, which is a concentric pivot. This stays pivot on the axle, which gives you great rollover in the rough stuff, and it gives you a fully active rear suspension system whilst under braking. This is a highly versatile race bike with all the bells and whistles needed for marathon and ultra distance racing in this country. Just a couple things I like. I call it the stay fresh factor. On the 2020 Trek Top Fuel, Trek have pushed the main pivot of the bike marginally forward. So I'm talking about this main pivot here where the chainstay meets the down tube. Okay, what this has done, well, firstly, the one bi-specific design of this frame has allowed Trek to do that. And what it's done is it gives the bike incredible small bump compliance. So what that does for marathon races is there's less low frequency vibrations coming through the system. It means you're going to stay fresh for longer out on the trails on those long days, the stage races, the long days where you actually just take a pounding, your complete body is tired and you're not sure where or what is more sore. But the forward pivot placement of this bike gives the bike exceptional small bump performance. This makes it an excellent marathon and stage race bike for everyone. Okay, couple tips for races. On the smooth courses out there, so I'm talking like a Sani 2C kind of setup, what you can do on this bike is try the Bontrager XR1 rubber, okay? This is the XR3, great tire, fantastic grip on gnarly trails like the Cape Epic and that kind of stuff. Smoother trails like Sani and some of the other stage races around the country, especially in the Eastern Cape and so on. Try the Bontrager XR1. It's a 650 gram tire with tightly packed tread pattern, which rolls fast. It's an absolute racing version. It's also 650 grams, so it's about 100 grams that you're going to save on rotational weight front and rear, which is going to help you. I wouldn't use that setup on something like Adequas Extreme or Cape Epic itself unless you're going to run crazy high PSIs, but that's probably a bad idea as it is. The second tip I've got for the races is leave the dropper post on. Okay, I know it's a couple grams more, but you're saving a lot of weight on this Trek package, on the carbon package. Trek use a real light carbon. The reason why I say leave the dropper post on is unless you have skills like Danny Fowler, you are going to need the dropper post. It may seem strange for you if it's your first bike with a dropper post, but I would say leave it on. It's an enabler. It's going to save a collarbone. It's going to save you going over the bars. It's just a bit of static, a couple of grams that's static on the bike, and it's going to make you so much faster on all of the single track sections, on any of the downhill sections. And you'll find the more you ride with the dropper post, the more you realize and more you wonder how you ever rode without one. Okay, last tip for the racers out there. On this bike in the open setting, I've tried, and I would suggest playing with your rebound a little bit. So once you've got your sag set up, set your rebound at where you usually like the bike to be, where you usually like the bike to ride, and then try 2 clicks or 3 clicks slower. What it does is it helps the bike sit in a little bit on the climbs and makes it even more efficient, and it climbs faster. So don't be afraid to play with that rebound. Right, the takeout. So what you really want to know. The Trek Top Fuel is a stage race specialist bike that absolutely crushes single track. The full review's on the site. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing. See you on the trails.